that
Stop.
exists with fascination.
Yes, sorry.
They never lost a plane on a mission.
They never lost a plane on the mission. And who were they? Who were the Tuskegee Airmen?
World War II.
They were the first black
Airmen.
airmen pilot regiment, whatever you want to call it. And they flew, they escorted U.S. naval crafts and U.S.
Bombers.
aircrafts, air bombers, during World War II from one location to the other. Now, when William Rice, he was back, this was back in 1944, 1945, when World War II was breaking out, and the world is in this chaotic political instability, but at the same time, he realized that when he was abroad and when he was fighting abroad overseas, he didn't face that discrimination, that segregation that he faced when he came back home to the South, and he realized that people in the South, or when he was based in the South, people made the color of his skin an issue, when in reality, when he flew overseas, but many people didn't know that they were being escorted by these African-American airmen.
And now we're going to actually move on to someone who probably all of you know, who's a little bit maybe more well-known in history, just a little bit to the left.
You know, the name Tuskegee has a darker connotation as well.
Medical.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
the syphilis experiment.
And Don Byron did an album.
Huh?
The clarinetist Don Byron did an album.
Byron?
Yeah, Don Byron.
Huh.
His Tuskegee experiment, which
Musical album?
yeah.
Okay.
So we chose Serena Williams. As we all know, she's a huge tennis star. But something that I thought was interesting about her was that, she mentioned that the way that she incorporates her blackness and identity onto the courts with her is through the way that she dresses. And she made a comment about how, she feels that the outfits that she chooses denotes a certain something urban about her, and it brings in the urban community onto the courts. And I thought that was interesting, for the fact that there's not that many, black tennis players, and she felt like that was her way of contributing or welcoming the black community into the arena of tennis.
question over. Sorry.
She's one of the only young, maybe 20-somethings that are featured, and I was wondering if there's, I know there's more portraits that are younger black figures that have been, that were photographed.
You notice that there aren't as many younger?
Not as young. Well,
right.
This is part 1 of an exhibition. I'm guessing there's part 2 and 3 and 4 coming out, so maybe they will be featured later on, but this is like the first set.
Just to add that the artist, he said he knows about 1/3 of the people in the show. So Timothy Greenfield Saunders, very well-established photographer. I'm wondering, I mean, a question for me is, you know, when someone is starting with their friends, are they going to be more of their own generation? And then as he reaches out, he'll kind of hopefully reach towards more of an upcoming generation. We'll see.
So looking at the people in this exhibition and their accomplishments and keeping in mind that they are African American, do you think that there's a connection between race and accomplishments, or should there be a connection?
Is a connection between race and accomplishment even necessary?
To me.
To me. This is an open-ended question. There is no right or wrong answer. I'm not going to grade you, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yes, you believe there is a connection between race and accomplishment?
I watched the video, and I forget who said it, Chris Rock or somebody, but he said that there's more pressure on you to be more successful as a black person because you're representing the race. Whereas opposed to the general mainstream society, white society, you could just, you know, be a axe murderer, but it's not going to reflect on every white person.
Anybody else care to comment? Or give their opinion?
Okay, in a minute, like later on, okay? Do you think that in today's modern world, keeping all the recent political events that have occurred, do you think the same question can apply to other races? That is, race and accomplishment connected? Should there be a connection at all between race and identity and accomplishment?
I think for African American, the burden has been just simply more than accomplishment. It has to be an all around of everything. You know, Jackie Robinson not only had to be the best, baseball player, but he had to be the best human being all around. Period. And it's the same thing for the Williams sisters. That not only do they have to be the best tennis players, but they have to be the best human beings. Like their interaction with other people gets scrutinized to the point that where I don't think any other races, any other players, any sports and entertainment aren't scrutinized as their magic in their lives and also like
The opposite of the axe murderer.
Does anyone have any
That was my dad just
questions or
now.
comments?
You
or
didn't have to
thoughts
speak
they would like to
louder.
share?
That was my dad just now.
How you
Oh,
doing?
okay.
Just a comment on top of that, I would think that athletes don't really have a positive, like, it's not enough. It's not expressed as a human being what they do, whether it's for the community or for their race, representing their race. It's more so what they do on whatever court, field, or in their expertise. And I think the media has a lot to do with that. They hold back on what is positive outside of their particular event or profession.
Thank you. Anyone else before we wrap up? I would like to thank you very much for your time and your contribution.
And your comments were great. Please enjoy the rest of the museum, enjoy the rest of the exhibit. Come back for part 2, 3, and 4 if there is one.
I had a comment about Obama as an interracial black president, but people look at him as a black president, but no one looks at him as a white president. But
So true.
yeah, just wanted to make that comment. No, technically no. Technically there's supposedly some other presidents, 2, yeah, 6 or whatever, that have African blood in them. I mean, besides every human being, right? Besides
White
that.
men that still that very upset that Obama became president. You know, and I'm really worried about that.
We're wondering about why people were upset that Obama became president.
Yeah.
Well, you can't please everyone. I don't tell you that much. But, it's different people have different reactions to different things. I mean, some people look at something as positive, and others look at it as negative, so it depends on where you stand on the spectrum. And I personally voted for Obama.
I did too.
I have an
It's so
opinion
important to
about
have
that.
these types of discussions, just to, have an open base of communication and sharing ideas.
Perhaps those people are influenced by every movie where you see a black president in, there's a big disaster.
I think we have to remember the presidency is the last symbol of white males. So of course some people are going to be upset. It's the last symbol of white males. I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that people don't understand that as Martin Luther King, Dr. King said, if we don't work together as brothers, we'll perish as fools. So I mean it's quite an accomplishment, but of course I think he's going to do great things, maybe like FDR. But we're in 2008. People are still talking about the first this, the first that. So presidency is the last symbol of the old boy network. And, hopefully years down the line there'll be a woman president, a Latino president, and, a few others.
Sorry, just last parting quote. Race is something that is always a hot button issue, whether it's African American, Arabs, whatever, Latinos, Mexicans, Russians, whatever. Race is always a very sensitive and hot button topic, and the only way we can actually deal with it is we sit down and have a discussion, or come to exhibits like this and sort of broaden ourselves and expose ourselves to the other opinions that are out there. You don't have to agree with everything, but you just have to know that something.
I don't think the Klan is coming here anytime soon to discuss it.
Zinnia did make a nice connection to a little promo I want to say is that right out here, there are 2 laptop computers with instructions on the wall about how you as visitors can record a story about how race has impacted your life, and that will go up on YouTube and be part of a channel that we're making for this exhibit so that we can record our visitor stories and share them with the world. So if this conversation inspired something in you, please go right over there and follow the instructions and share a story with us. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I upload this to the site?
That's a good question.
I mean, I tried to mess with the thing, but it's like automatic. It only lets you record.
Yeah.